Good evening. My name is Reverend Dr. Walter B. Johnson. I am the pastor of Greater Institutional AME Church, and I also serve as CEO of the Alliance for Community Peace. We're gathered here on this evening to share with the broader community a critical issue and challenge that we're dealing with in our neighborhood related to drinking while driving, texting while driving, and most importantly, that persons would get, when they get in the car behind the wheel, that they will put on their seatbelts. We have several clergy members who are here. We also have several community individuals who are here who are representing the broader community. Our effort and our issue is that we are partnering with, collaborating with Illinois Department of Transportation under the Skill Grant Program to bring awareness to those who are out in the African American community about the overwhelming challenge and overwhelming problem with African American males getting behind the wheel between the ages of 18 to 34, and unfortunately are not putting their seatbelts on, unfortunately are still doing drinking while driving or texting while driving. So at this time, I'd like to introduce to some and to others the Reverend Phyllis Harrell, who will give more information, who serves as the COO of the Alliance for Community Peace and as pastor of Spiral Temple of Truth Church.
Thank you. Good afternoon and good evening. Once again, we, Alliance for Community Peace, have partnered with Illinois Department of Transportation, the Division of Traffic and Safety, to help educate our communities. This Safer for Community grant is targeted for African American males and Hispanics at the age of 18 to 34. This particular weekend, we want to very well educate and get the word out that our young men need to click it or ticket, drive sober, or be pulled over. The statistics are phenomenal. Even as of this morning, 628 fatalities have occurred across Illinois' highway. That is too many. Today, we are still trying to educate our community and members of our family. So we need women, we need sisters, we need aunts, we need grandmothers to take the word back to our young men in our community, your nieces, your nephews, your brothers, your sons, everyone, to educate them about driving safely during this holiday season. We want to see our young people live a long life, but we need to educate them about the issues that are predominant in our neighborhood with drunk drivers. The statistics are phenomenal. We had statistics last year that over 9,878 young people died from alcohol-impaired disasters. So we need to get the word out. Accidents usually occurs around 10 o'clock at night, 11 o'clock at night, 12 o'clock midnight. So we get the word out to our young people, our young teens, that please tell your friends, if they've been drinking, you will drive or you will not get in the car with them. It is imperative that we get this message out. We're asking pastors, we're asking preachers, we're asking laymen, clergy to get the word out. Do not drink and drive. Click it or ticket. And now the law has really changed. As of July 31st, they have increased the fine amounts. They have increased the penalty amounts. And so people will be fined. You could lose your driver's license. You could lose your car. All of these infractions are going to be charged against the individual. So it is important that we all as individuals save lives by getting the words out. We are targeting every male, and then we're targeting our young girls as well. Please, don't drink and drive.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to introduce to some and to others, a couple other individuals who are going to speak from a religious perspective and clergy. I'm going to have first and foremost the Reverend Donna Anderson, who will come. Then I will have the Reverend Valerie Tony Parker to come. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Johnson. I just wanted to take a moment to speak about impaired driving. Many times we feel that impaired driving means that we're drunk, but we can also be high. And we can also be distracted in our driving. How many times have you pulled up next to someone at the light, you're stopped at the light, and the first thing they do is take a look at their cell phone in their hand? You don't know what could be happening around you. You need to pay full attention to what's happening on the road because someone could get hurt. I want to urge each and every one of you to put your seatbelts on. Put your cell phones on vibrate and wait until you have completed your travels. A phone call, a text, an email, it is not worth your life. Please be safe and don't drink and drive. Thank you.
Good evening, Thank you, Reverend Donna. Thank you, Reverend Johnson. I just echo the sentiments of Reverend Donna, Reverend Johnson, Reverend Harrell. But I'd also like to point your attention when you're watching games this week. Football is a big part of the upcoming week. There's a lot of commercials that are quite poignant, and I want you to just take 1 second to watch the commercials. And what the commercials reveal to you is someone who's engaged in texting, and within 1 or 2 seconds, you see a traumatic crash that changes the life of somebody. Somebody dies, somebody is paralyzed, somebody's limbs are destroyed. It destroys not only the family of those who are driving under the influence, driving while texting, but it destroys the families of those who have been impacted. As a clergy person who's worked with teenagers and young adults most of my ministerial career, I can't tell you enough to just get in the face of your friends and remind them that if where you are is where you have become intoxicated, just stay where you are. I can't tell you enough that whoever you're texting about where you're going and what you're talking about, that's not important. Just wait till you get there. There's also been some talk on the news recently about looking at people who text people while they know they're driving. And those people are going to start to be held accountable. It's not worth it. If you think about even something as simple as being sleepy while driving, and all of us have been sleepy while driving. And when you think about, oh my God, I just woke up. Sometimes we just realize we just woke up while we were driving. In that instance, we could have driven off the road, we could have driven out of our lane, and it is that same time span that it takes for you to hurt yourself or somebody while texting and driving and while you're under the influence. So I encourage you to get in the face of somebody who's 18 to 35. Get in the face, because you could very well be the person that saves their life.
Amen. All right. Now, at this time, we'd like to hear from someone who's been impacted by a situation that unfortunately occurred in their life. Miss Ali Scott will come and share with us now.
How y'all doing? I lost my aunt a few years ago in Chicago. Roseanne Thomas got killed in a car accident by a drunk driver, and she wasn't seatbelted. It broke her neck, and it killed her on the spot. She left behind 13 children. I advise anyone to stay sober, to click it a ticket, and stay focused on your driving so no one else will be killed or have a horrible effect on the family member in their lives. Thank you.
I'm going to conclude with Reverend Phyllis Harrell, maybe at this point giving some final things, and then also we will have an opportunity and time for perhaps questions and answers. At this time, Reverend Phyllis Harrell.
Since July 5th, 2012, when the message board started listing the death toll through the state of Illinois, on December 31, there were over 478 roadway deaths in 2012 on Illinois roads. As of today, there is 628. We did a press conference in July for the 4th of July weekend. There were only 468 totalities. In less than 2 months, 160 individuals have lost their lives. This message is urgent. There's been several crashes and totalities throughout the state of Illinois, and nationally the numbers are increasing. It is time for us as a community, as a people, to stop and get the word out. Of the 887 fatality crashes in the state last year, 130 of them was reported in Chicago, up from 109 in 2011. IDOT says Cook County is accounted for 243 of the fatality crashes last year, and now they are leading the numbers this year. The Labor Day weekend is traditionally the last weekend of the summer travel for most motorists, and we want to ensure it's safe for everyone. Thousands of motorists are going to be expected to be traveling throughout the state roadways over this holiday weekend. The Illinois Department of Transportation, IDOT, announced today that they will be closing down and stopping all non-emergency road work to suspend until the holiday is over. This in hopes of reducing the congestion as well as improving traffic flow. It is important that we get the word out. Too often people are drinking and driving. Too often people are texting and driving. Too often even we women are putting on our lipsticks and fixing our hair and putting on our makeup. It is time for us to put our hands on the wheel and focus on driving. Please help us. Tell our community, drive sober and drive safe. God bless you.
Thank you. Are there any questions from anyone? Any questions? Message clear? Is it on point? It's very, very important. I tell people in my last closing statement, I want to see Jesus. I really, really want to see Jesus. But I don't want to see him today, tomorrow, next month, next year, or any time in the near future. And I say that on the basis that I'm going to do whatever it is to have a long life, which means when I get behind the wheel of a car, I want to make sure that I pray that wherever I'm going, that I get there safely and nothing happens to me. But also I want to be, most importantly, that those who are around me who are out there driving, that prayerfully we won't have some kind of indication or altercation in terms of an accident. So again, we want to say thank you for those who have joined us in this press conference. And again, God bless you and have a wonderful and enjoyable Labor Day weekend.
How are you getting this message out to teenagers who are kind of responsible for a lot of the accidents?
I'll let Reverend Harrell respond.
We are definitely combating the community and high schools as well as elementary schools. We realize that to get the message out, we have to go to after-school programs, we have to go to community-based